All right, let's dive right in. Every single time you open a web browser, you're interacting with a secret language. It's the hidden blueprint behind every website, every article, every cat video you've ever seen. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what it is.
So think about it for a second. It doesn't matter what device you're on, phone, laptop, tablet. It doesn't matter if you're using Chrome or Safari or Firefox. There is one single universal language that all of them speak fluently. Any guesses?
You got it. HTML. It is the absolute bedrock of the web. It's the skeleton that gives every single web page its structure.
So let's start at square one, right? What in the world is HTML? And how does it actually, work its magic?
Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now, don't let the long name fool you. The most important word in there is markup. See, this isn't a programming language that does all sorts of complex calculations. Nope. It's a markup language. Its entire job is to describe and structure content. It just tells the browser, hey, this is a headline, or psst, this bit right here is a paragraph.
And how does it give those instructions? It uses things called tags. You can just think of tags as little commands for your browser. They're always wrapped in these angle brackets, and they're the secret sauce that tells the browser how to display everything.
And here's the basic recipe. It's super simple. You have an opening tag, like P for a paragraph, then you have your actual content, the words you want to show, and then you finish it off with a closing tag. And you can always spot the closing tag because it has that little / right at the beginning. That whole thing together, that's what we call an element.
Okay, so here's something cool. Every single web page, I don't care how simple or how insanely complicated it is built on the exact same three-part skeleton. Getting this is key.
It all starts with the HTML tag. That's the root. It wraps the whole document. And inside of that, you have two main kids, the head and the body. The easiest way to think about it is that the head is kind of like the brains of the operation, and the body, well, that's everything you can actually see.
So to break that down a little more, the head section is for all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like the little page title that shows up in your browser tab, that lives in the head. But the body? Oh, the body is the main event. That's where all the good stuff is. All the text, all the images, all the videos that you actually look at on the screen.
All right, so we've got our skeleton. Now it's time to add some flesh to those bones, the actual content that people are going to read. Let's start with the two most common types, headings and paragraphs.
So headings are a huge deal. HTML gives us 6 levels to play with, from H1 all the way down to H6. You'd use H1 for the most important title on the page, H2 for major sections, H3 for subsections, and so on. It's all about creating a clear structure.
And the best part is, you just write that super simple code, and the browser does all the heavy lifting. It reads those tags and just, poof, turns them into what you see on the screen. And the result?
Is this a really clear visual hierarchy? You can immediately tell that the H1 is the big boss, right? And this isn't just for looks. This is absolutely critical for things like search engines and accessibility tools to understand what your page is actually about.
Now, what about just regular text? For any old block of text, you're going to use the paragraph tag, P. Seriously, this is the bread and butter of writing content in HTML. You're going to be using this one constantly.
But sometimes just a big wall of text isn't the best way to present information. What if you need more structure? Well, that's where lists come in, and they are fantastic for making things clear and easy to read.
And you basically have two main flavors. You've got your ordered list, OL, which gives you a numbered list, perfect for step-by-step instructions or a top 10 list. Then you have the unordered list, UL, which just gives you bullet points. For both of them, each individual item inside the list gets wrapped in an LI tag, which just stands for list item. Pretty straightforward, right?
Okay, now we are at the part that literally makes the web, well, the web. This is the hypertext in hypertext markup language. Honestly, without this one thing, the internet as we know it would just not exist.
And it all comes down to the anchor tag, which looks like this, AA. This little tag's job is to create a hyperlink, but the tag by itself doesn't do anything. It needs an attribute called href. You can think of href as the hypertext reference. It's the bit that tells the browser where to go when you click the link.
And here's a perfect, simple example. The href is pointing to another file, welcome.html. And the text that's sandwiched between the opening A element and the closing A element tags, in this case click here,
That's the actual clickable text the user's going to see. This one simple idea is what connects billions of pages across the globe.
And just stop and think about that for a minute. With just 3 core ideas, using tags to give your content structure, having that basic skeleton for every page, and using anchor tags to link everything together, you now understand the fundamental principles holding the entire World Wide Web together. It's that simple at its core.
So there you go, the secret language of the web. It's not so secret, is it? It's actually a pretty straightforward, logical system for organizing information. So now that you know the basics, the only real question is, what are you going to build first?